Hey loves, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're most welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. My name is Maggie Arching, and today I want to talk about builds that we have and the gradings. All right, I have talked about the grades that we have in builds, but I want to particularly talk about grade 1 and grade 2. All right, now we have several kind of builds that I have done a video on. You would if it interests you, you can go check it out. There's premium, there's creme, there's grade 1, there's grade 2, and several people tend to argue with the fact that there's no premium builds. That's a marketing strategy. Now thing is, I always tell you guys, not all builds have premium. All right, I have done a bill review of premium builds and creme builds, so you can check those videos out to understand, because some suppliers are going to sell for you something and call it premium, and when you open it there's nothing premium about it, or some suppliers are going to tell you it's creme and when you open there's nothing about it. All right, so I'm basically going to talk about grade 1 and grade 2 bills, because that is one thing that tends to really confuse people. Okay, now here's the thing: most of the time when you approach a supplier and you, for example, ask them, I'd like a bill, let's say for example of polo dresses, all right, they're gonna sell to you a bill and they'll tell you, oh, polo dresses is 24. Then you're like, hey, that's too expensive. Then they'll tell you kunaya 16,000. Then we're like, okay, sawa nipate here. Then when they give you, you go open, you start complaining. Their quality was not good. The quality what. And sometimes what normally happens is that even suppliers, one thing you need to understand is that sometimes even these suppliers, they're also just trying to make sales. All right. So ukiangalia unaona ile bei amekwambia unaona ikiwa juu sana, they try to give you a cheaper price so that you can buy, and then without you knowing, you find it's a grade 2. Okay, so how would you know the difference between a grade 1 and a grade 2 bill? Okay, that is what I want to talk about today. Okay, now a grade 1 and a grade 2 bill, difference to understand which is grade 1 and which one is grade 2 is the pricing. All right, you need to understand the pricing is one of the biggest factors to note the difference between a grade 1 and grade 2. All right, another thing to help you know a grade 2 bill is on the label. Most of the time it's been written special. Okay, now when you find a bill that has been written special, my friend, do not feel special, in any way. That's a grade 2 bill. Most grade 2 bills are written special. All right, because best believe when I tell you, you will never ever find a bill written number 2. How to why you can find some, very few written grade 2, but rare occasions. All right, because sometimes even some suppliers normally label a bill in grade 2 to make importation fees be lesser. All right, ikifika kwa hizo makuchunguzwa, so they write it at grade 2. So best believe when it's been written grade 2, your bill say grade 2. All right, most of the times that is even a grade 1, but when a bill has been written special, that's a grade 2. All right, now how else would you know a grade 2 bill? When you open this particular bill, the quality is going to tell you that this bill is a grade 2 bill. Okay, what do I mean by when I say quality? If you have opened a grade 1 bill before of, for example, let's say hoodies, and then you open a grade 2 bill of hoodies, you will understand when I say quality. Okay, now let me give you an example of hoodies bill. When you open a hoodies bill, a grade 1 and a grade 2, grade 1, what you're going to find is, you see hoodies upper kwa hii kamba ya hoodie, on a grade 1 you'll find like 80% have that kamba. When you open a grade 2, 80% don't have that kamba. You have to look for it yourself. All right, another thing to note with grade 2 and grade 1, grade 1 utafind the nguo yani ni safi, clean, understand. Grade 2 you'll find clothes have fluffs. All right, so mainly, let me tell you guys the plain truth. Mainly, the biggest difference between a grade 1 and a grade 2 bill is the quality of the clothes. Okay, quality of the clothes. A grade 1 bill tends to give you clothes that are more appealing, iko na makamera mob, but a grade 2 bill utapata the quality is a bit compromised. The quality won't be as good. You'll find like maybe a few of the stuff are a bit faded, a few of the stuff are have fluffs. But now the funny thing is that there's some bills that I normally actually recommend you to get a grade 2 instead of a grade 1. Okay, There's some builds, not all, there's some builds that I normally recommend. It's better to get a grade 2 or a grade 1. Now another thing, if you are getting a grade 2 bill, it depends na pali unauzia. Some places when you take a grade 1 bill, you're not gonna sell, or if you sell, you're not gonna recover the capital. So grade 2 bills sometimes you can actually go for if where you're selling hawafiki bei, or if the quality is not bad. I know some suppliers, like my supplier, the grade 2 is not so bad. I have opened bills of grade 2 here. You guys have seen. I've opened a grade 2 hoodies. You can check that video out. I have opened tights, grade 2. So it all bottles down to who's your supplier. If your supplier is into hivi, then utachezwa, okay? But if your supplier is good, then the grade 2 will not be so bad, okay? Just don't expect to open a grade 2 and find like a lot of cameras. Itakuwa tu just okay looking kind of dresses that you can sell at a lesser price, all right? And also because of the price that you're going to buy this particular bill for, will make sense when you sell those clothes at cheaper prices. Sawa. So grade 2 bills are not so bad depending na supplier wako. If you have a good supplier, then your bill, by the way, si mbaya sana. But it really depends on where you're selling. I normally say if you're selling purely online, never open a grade 2. Never. Yani nasikia usiyai fungwa bill ya grade 2. If you're selling online, do not ever, because with online your photos are what sells for you, and sometimes these photos tend to make things look better than they actually are. More so if you're using some phones. I'm not gonna mention which kind of phones, because when patapa one of you has that phones alafu munishikie maroho, there's some phones that tend to exaggerate how something looks, and then when you get that particular piece delivered to you, unaanza kusema hey, hizi ni gani tena, hey, what are these, hey, I was conned nini, and actually it's the phone that took that piece. So if you are selling online, never buy a grade 2 bill. Never. Sawa. Another thing, if you're selling in a shop, you can buy a grade 2 bill. You can. Like tight pants, let me tell you guys the truth. When I'm buying a bill of tights, I always buy a grade 2 for my shop, because it's not bad. Alafu also considering something like tights, you normally resell those tights for things like 200 bob. But if you have a shop, tights hazipitangi sombili. By the way, tights hazipiti sombili. Ukiuzia mtu tights more than sombili, anakuangalia na shanga, hey, hizi zako kwani ziko na nini? Because we have hawkers who walk around with tights and sell them for 200 bob. So if you have a shop and you're selling tights for more than 200 bob, chances are high they're not going to buy. They're going to wait for people to come and sell. So if you have a physical location, there's some builds that you can go for grade 2. So fashion tight pants, please go for grade 2. Grade 1, you're never gonna recover if you have a shop. Trust me, all right? Even hoodies, if you have a physical location, go for a grade 2 and iron those things. Sawa. Iron them, go for a grade 2 if you have a physical location. Hii kamba utambia tu mtu, aiwe ile bei mtu anakuuzia kamba, enda utafute tu, nini. Play around with it, all right? So if you have a good supplier, grade 2 bills are not so bad, okay? But if you don't have a good supplier, avoid grade 2, because unfortunately some of the sellers that we have take advantage of grade 2 when they reopen their bills and package for you all the taka and put in that grade 2. So if you do not trust your supplier, if you do not have a good supplier, never avoid grade 2 bills. Sawa. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Give this video a thumbs up. If kuna kitu nimesema haujaelewa, write it down in the comment section. I am definitely going to respond to it. And iki need video, nitakufanyia video, alright? So yes, thank you for watching. God bless you. Do take care of yourselves. I will see you on my next video, which is definitely going to be soon. Stay blessed and bye-bye.